Hi and welcome to the latest Ancient Egypt news from the first week of February. The touring exhibition Ramses and the Gold of the Pharaohs is set to open in London on February the 28th this year at Battersea Power Station, where it will run until August the 30th. Featuring 180 artefacts from Egyptian museums, including the sarcophagus of Ramses II, the London leg follows runs in Houston, San Francisco, Paris, Sydney, Cologne and Tokyo. Presented at Neon's exhibition space, the London edition follows the conclusion of the exhibition's Tokyo run and marks the latest stop in an international tour that began in 2021. The exhibition brings together artifacts dating largely to the reign of Ramses II, drawn primarily from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, as well as a sarcophagus of Ramses II from the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. There are objects discovered by the Egyptian Archaeological Mission at the Bubastion in Saqqara and selected pieces from other Egyptian museums, featuring statues, jewellery, cosmetic tools, stelae, inscribed stone blocks and painted wooden coffins. Together, the artifacts present a wide-ranging view of ancient Egyptian civilization, spanning periods from the Middle Kingdom through to the Late Period. Some of Egypt's most ambitious archaeological and conservation efforts are unfolding in Luxor, including a major project at the Ramesseum and the renovation of the Luxor Museum. From newly uncovered tombs and rare funerary texts to the meticulous reconstruction of one of King Ramses II's monumental pylons, Luxor is witnessing a renewed chapter in Egypt's archaeological story, one shaped by scientific precision, international cooperation, and a commitment to preserving heritage for generations to come. Luxor has long stood as an open-air museum, but today it is also a living laboratory where archaeology, conservation and technology intersect. Across both the east and west banks of the Nile, multiple Egyptian and international missions are advancing some of the most significant excavation, restoration and documentation projects in recent years. Projects that are reshaping scholarly understanding of ancient Egyptian architecture, religion and daily life. Commenting on the scope of the ongoing work, Mohammed Ismail Khaled, former Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, the SCA, emphasized that Luxor remains at the heart of Egypt's archaeological priorities. What we are witnessing today in Luxor is not just excavation or restoration, he said. It's an integrated scientific effort that combines documentation, conservation and academic research, implemented according to the highest international standards. Among the most notable recent achievements are discoveries made by the Egyptian Archaeological Mission at Dra Abu Nakhra on Luxor's west bank, where several tombs dating to the New Kingdom have been uncovered, including 3 belonging to senior state officials. These finds add new layers to the understanding of administrative and social structures during one of ancient Egypt's most powerful eras, as well as offering insight into the lives of high-ranking officials who once served in temples and administrative positions across ancient Egypt. Meanwhile, at Deir el-Medina, a French archaeological mission has completed the reassembly, restoration and reconstruction of the stone sarcophagus of Pashedo, a figure who lived during the reigns of King Seti I and Ramses II. Found fragmented inside his tomb, the sarcophagus is distinguished by its rare inscriptions, including a version of the Negative Confessions, a funerary text in which the deceased asserts moral purity before entering the afterlife. These texts are exceptionally valuable, explained Abdel Ghaffar Wagdi, Director of Luxor Antiquities. They offer insight not only into belief systems, but also into personal identity and ethics in ancient Egyptian society. At the Montu Temple in Karnak, an Egyptian-Chinese archaeological mission continues to uncover new architectural elements, including chapels dedicated to the god Osiris and a sacred lake whose remaining sections are still under excavation. The project stands as a model of international archaeological cooperation. Abdel Ghaffar stressed the importance of this collaboration, noting that the partnership between Egyptian and Chinese archaeologists reflects the strength of cultural ties between both countries and demonstrates how shared expertise can advance archaeological science. This Egyptian-Chinese mission was the first Chinese archaeological mission to operate in Egypt, having commenced its work in 2018. At present, 5 Chinese archaeological missions are working at various sites across Egypt, One of the most ambitious undertakings currently underway is the restoration, reassembling and reinstallation of the first pylon at the Ramesseum, the mortuary temple of King Ramses II. The project, carried out by an Egyptian-Korean mission from the SCA in cooperation with the Cultural Heritage Administration of South Korea and the National Korean University for Cultural Heritage, relies heavily on advanced documentation techniques, including 3D laser scanning. Hundreds of stone blocks, many of which were buried for centuries beneath sand and rubble following a destructive earthquake in antiquity, have now been uncovered, documented and prepared for restoration. Recent excavations have also revealed cartouches bearing the name of Ramses II within the foundations of the northern tower of the pylon, providing critical evidence for both historical attribution and structural assessment. The Egyptian-Korean mission has begun a comprehensive and multifaceted restoration project focusing on the first pylon. This is one of the most important archaeological and scientific projects currently underway in Egypt. It safeguards the architectural and historical value of the Ramesseum and reflects our responsibility to protect Egypt's heritage while presenting it accurately to the world, said Hisham Al-Lithi, Charge d'Affaires of the SCA's Secretary General. He explained that the project focuses on dismantling, restoring and reassembling the stones of the first pylon. This will be achieved through the scientific documentation of the area, including architectural surveys, mapping and photography. Additionally, excavations around the pylon aim to uncover stone blocks that were once part of the structure. The project will also include the scientific documentation and registration of the discovered blocks, along with the creation of a comprehensive database. The restoration project focuses on several key areas, among them the reinforcement of the pylon's structure through stabilizing weakened segments and preventing the further collapse of walls, statues and columns. Advanced 3D scanning and imaging technologies will be used to digitally document the site and create detailed records of its current condition, aiding conservation planning. Specialists will carefully clean the layers of dirt and damage to the reliefs to reveal the original carvings and artwork. New pathways and protective barriers will be introduced to regulate tourist traffic and minimize further degradation. Local residents and scholars are being engaged in preservation efforts, ensuring the long-term sustainability and appreciation of the site's historical value. The restoration of the Ramesseum is expected to significantly extend the life of this ancient wonder, allowing future generations to marvel at its grandeur, Al-Lithi said. Experts believe that ongoing investments in modern conservation techniques and responsible tourism practices will be key to safeguarding Egypt's rich cultural heritage. As work progresses, archaeologists are hopeful that more historical insights will be uncovered, shedding light on the building's past and its role in ancient Egyptian civilization. With global attention on the project, the Ramesseum is poised to remain an enduring monument to Egypt's history and ingenuity. Beyond excavation and monumental restoration, significant efforts are also being directed towards museums and storage infrastructure and collections management in Luxor. Projects to upgrade museum storage facilities in Kurna and Abu Ghud are being carried out, including the installation of modern security and lighting systems, fire protection and improved environmental conditions. Restoration laboratories within these facilities will be equipped with state-of-the-art conservation technology. These behind-the-scenes developments are just as important as what visitors see, Dr. Khaled noted. Proper storage and conservation are the foundation of any successful archaeological mission, said Ahmed Hamida, head of the museum sector at the SCA. At the Luxor Museum, work is underway to enhance the display of the Luxor cachette, aiming to present the most important artifacts from it through a contemporary museological approach that aligns with international standards, while fully preserving the historical and archaeological value of the collection. The museum's Display Scenario Committee has introduced a revised layout for the cachette hall, redistributing the artifacts to better reflect their historical and artistic sequence. This new arrangement strengthens the museum's narrative and clarifies the message we want to convey to visitors, explained Mahmoud Mabruk, a member of the committee. The aim is to present the cachette not just as a group of statues, but as a coherent historical moment, he added. The cachette hall is being equipped with modern interactive screens and newly designed explanatory labels, allowing visitors to engage more deeply with the historical context of the statues and the circumstances of their discovery. We are also reinforcing the ceiling and replacing older wooden decorative elements with more durable stone components, he noted. The project also includes a full upgrade of the museum's electrical network, technical systems and panoramic lighting, ensuring that each statue is illuminated in a way that enhances its artistic and symbolic features without compromising conservation requirements. The lighting and technical upgrades are designed to highlight the beauty of the displayed artifacts while improving the overall quality of services provided to visitors, explained Momen Othman, head of the Conservation and Antiquities and Museums Project Sector at the SCA. Dr. Khaled said that the museums must tell a clear and honest story. When an artifact travels for an exhibition abroad, the visitor should know where it is and why, and see it return to its place within the original narrative upon its return. This could be implemented through substituting another artifact from storage until the return of the original, accompanied by an appropriate label. The stolen sculpture of a head in stone, dating back approximately 3,500 years, was formally handed over today by Minister Guk Mus, Ministry of Education, Culture and Science, to the Egyptian ambassador to the Netherlands. Prime Minister Skoof had already announced on the 2nd of November 2025 during an official visit to Egypt that the Netherlands would return the object in the near future. The return of the object follows an extensive investigation which established that the sculpture had been looted from an archaeological site in the Egyptian region of Luxor and had been unlawfully exported. The investigation and subsequent return highlight the importance of close cooperation between states, museums, art fairs, dealers, collectors and experts in protecting cultural heritage and in acting swiftly when doubts arise concerning provenance. The object was returned during a formal transfer ceremony held at the Egyptian embassy in The Hague. In his speech, Minister Mus said that this object was removed through looting is deeply regrettable. This stone head does not belong here and certainly not on the art market. It belongs in Egypt. The sculpture depicts a high-ranking official from the reign of Pharaoh Thutmose III. The head, carved from granodiorite, originally formed part of a block statue of which it was broken off. This type of sculpture was placed in graves and temples and served as an eternal representation of non-royal individuals, such as priests, senior military officers and civil officials. In 2022, the head was exhibited at TEFAF Maastricht by the dealer Sycamore Ancient Art. During the fair, doubts arose regarding the object's provenance, prompting consultation with an expert from the British Museum in London. On the basis of this consultation, the dealer proactively contacted the police, who subsequently initiated an investigation. The dealer provided all available documentation and cooperated fully with the investigation. TEFAF Maastricht also offered its full cooperation during the investigation. The provenance documentation accompanying the object suggested that the head had been circulating on the European art market for several decades. However, investigations conducted by the Dutch National Police and the Limburg Police Unit revealed that essential provenance documents had been forged by previous sellers. Simultaneously, the Historical Heritage Brigade of the Spanish National Police investigated one of those sellers. Sycamore Ancient Art voluntarily relinquished possession of the head once it became clear that they acquired the object on the basis of falsified provenance documentation. Throughout the investigation, close cooperation took place with the Dutch Information and Heritage Inspectorate and experts from the British Museum and the National Museum of Antiquities in Leiden. This collaboration enabled confirmation of the object's authenticity and established that it had been looted from the Egyptian region of Luxor and unlawfully exported during or shortly after the Arab Spring. The Egyptian authorities confirmed that the object is protected under Egyptian heritage legislation, forms part of Egypt's national cultural heritage, and was exported in violation of Egyptian laws governing cultural property. Egypt submitted a formal request for the return of the object pursuant to the 1970 UNESCO Convention on the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export and transfer of ownership of cultural property. Both the Netherlands and Egypt are state parties to this convention and are jointly committed to combating the illicit trafficking of cultural property. And that's it for this week. This news podcast was brought to you by Ted Laux and GNT Tours. Ancient Egypt News is rated in the top 5 Egypt history podcasts according to feedspot.com. For 2026 tour dates, check out our website gnttours.com. Follow us on social media. Thanks for listening to this episode. Please feel free to comment and share. Until next time, thanks again. Cheers. Bye bye.